Hello everybody, and today we are going to be talking about 3 things that were invented by accident. So, enough stalling, let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's start off with our first thing, which is the smoke detector. That's right, this annoying little lifesaver was invented by accident. You see, in the late 1930s, Swiss physicist Walter Jaeger, who I couldn't really find a picture of, so we're just going to use Walter White. Okay? Yeah, as I was saying, Walter Jaeger attempted to create a device that could detect poison gas. The idea was that gas would enter into the alarm system and, well, alter the electrical current inside, thereby setting off the alarm. And it didn't work. He tried and tried, but it didn't seem to work. So one day he decided to just sit next to it, smoke a cigarette to catch his nerve before trying again, and voila! The cigarette smoke apparently set off the alarm, meaning he did technically succeed since carbon dioxide is a technically type of poison gas, just not the type of gas he was trying to find. As you're probably aware of, this invention was incredible at the time as it could prevent house fires, people being cooked alive, etc., etc. However, the smoke detector seemed to be a bit too expensive to mass produce to be used commercially, so it mostly just used for military bases and more important places. Until, in 1956, Dwayne D. Pearsall and Stanley B. Peterson. Sadly, we couldn't find a picture of Stanley Peterson, so we're going to be using Jesse from Breaking Bad. Alright. As I was saying, they developed a beehive-shaped battery-powered smoke detector, which could be easily installed and removed if needed, and were made out of fire-resistant steel. In 1975, Pearsall's company eventually began mass-producing these for consumer use. And in 1977, they were able to produce 500 models per day. Now that we've finished that, let's move on to our next one, shall we? Our next invention that was invented by accident is the potato chip. That's right, these crispy, crumbly crisps of tantalizingly tastiness were invented by accident. Now, the potato chips were created by George Speck, who also went by the name George Cripps. He was the son of Abraham Speck and Diana Tall, an African American and a Native American of the Huron tribe. He was also a chef. Now, the potato chips were developed by him on the 24th of August, 1853. When the disgruntled customer kept returning his French fried potatoes, complaining that they were either too thick, either too soggy, or not salted enough. Eventually, George decided that he had had enough of constantly having his food returned back to him, so he sliced several potatoes extremely thin, fried them to a crisp, and seasoned them with extra salt and served them to customers. Surprisingly, as most of you would agree, they loved them. And just like that, my friends, the potato chip was invented. Now that we've finished our second one, let's move on to our third and last one, shall we? The next and last thing we will be looking at today is penicillin. That's right, ladies and germs, the drug that cures nearly everything wrong with us from the inside was made and discovered by accident. You see, in 1928, Dr. Alexander Fleming discovered, after returning from a holiday, that a mold had started growing in one of his petri dishes. A petri dish which was filled with Streptococcus bacteria, and he noticed something interesting with this mold. It seemed to be keeping the bacteria from growing. After studying this mold, he discovered that the mold actually produced a chemical that actually defends it from bacteria, and also killed the bacteria in the process. He named this particular chemical that the mold produced penicillin, and named the mold penicillin mold. Though in retrospect, it wasn't really that creative, seeing as how it produced penicillin. Simmons then presented his findings to his, medical research club, who didn't find it that interesting and just dismissed it, or were just not interested. However, he was undeterred, and using help from several chemists who were the leading experts in their field, he attempted to purify penicillin from the mold, and they were all unsuccessful. 10 years later, about 1937, actually it was 1937 to be exact, Ernest Chain and Howard Florey found Fleming's research and decided to put a team together of their own to try and figure out how to, well, get the penicillin. And after immense struggles, they finally managed to get the penicillin from the original mold. That's right, after 3 years of trying, they finally managed to get pure penicillin. And to be sure that it worked, they used 8 mice, all infected with deadly Streptococcus bacteria, and only the 4 given the penicillin survived, which meant it was a resounding success, which won them both the Nobel Prize. Granted, they were only able to get at a little bit of penicillin, but after many years of development and Miss Mary Hunt, an assistant at the Porio Labs, discovering a mold that produces 6 times more penicillin than Fleming's original sample on a rotten cantaloupe melon, and a new discovery that they found out that a high concentration of sugars, amino acids, and nitrogen produces a perfect environment for mold cultivation, we got to where we are today. And with that brings us to the end of this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, we sometimes do requests, so if you feel you wish to know anything, leave it in the comments and we might do a video on it. See you guys next time.